You're listening to Zoom the TBT with Charge and Hayner.
Hey guys, Charge here represents Zoom the TBT, and we have some friends of the pod we are excited to re-interview for multiple years. We've had these guys on. We have Team Arkansas, GM and head coach Monty Patel, and Wing Adrio Bailey. How you guys doing today?
Blessed, man. Blessed.
Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. My thing is always another day. Every day is a holiday. My pop always used to love that, like kidding around. Okay, so let's get right in this. Monty, you guys have been this a few years. You got 6 wins. How did this team come together this year after so many years being in this?
I mean, honestly, I let these guys make decisions. These guys ask them who they want to play with, who they want to be around, and you kind of we even figured out last year just how much of the vibes were so good amongst these dudes, and how they liked each other, how they gelled, how it was cool. And when we won a game, they're outside all together going to grab a bite to eat. There's no like separation, so it was a big thing to just try to let these guys pick out a roster, and I'd throw names at different people, and they'd tell me yes or no, and we'd kind of roll from there.
Definitely. So, Adrio, you played the event last year, Sweet 16 against Wichita. First question is, does it feel good to get the hell out of Wichita for this event?
I mean, yeah, last year was my first year, so I didn't know like what to expect. So Wichita to me wasn't too bad, but there's nothing bad I can say about Wichita. It's my first time, so I don't really know where else is there to go.
Oh no, Wichita is a delightful city. I've heard. I just don't think you get a fair whistle in Wichita when you're playing the Shocks. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. When we played the Shocks, it definitely was a different vibe, a different game. But we should have beat them. We ain't gonna get into that though.
I'll get into that. Let me tell you, we should have had a challenge in. We should have had a challenge in because Hunter had a box out. Dude comes over, tips it over the top of him, gives him 2 points versus a foul going our way while we're in bonus, which would have gave us a point. And it changes the whole game. Like anytime we played the home team, I've always said to the referee, I understand we are where we are, but you're not a fan of this school, so what does it matter? Frustrating.
They're intimidated, man. And they're intimidated. Wichita, I mean, the Koch brothers bought their arena and they own half that city. So they got to make sure. I mean, you don't want to be on Fox News getting yelled at the next day. That's just a bad vibe. Okay. So look, Monty, looking a little bit at how is this team going to play? I mean, Arkansas always has a vibe as a college is playing aggressive defense and getting up and down. What is this team going to show fans of TBT this year?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we have me and the staff have kind of gotten on is versatility and trying to be the least limited team possible. We want guys that can dribble past shoe. We want guys that can guard a lot of different guys. I don't want to call anyone a 1 and I don't want to call anyone a 5. What I want to call is people to defend. Adrio is a prime example of that. If we needed him to guard a big, he guarded a big. And then if we needed him to guard the best guard, he guarded the guard and he shut everyone down. And so his versatility helps us so much, and I love it because he doesn't let a job be too big for him. He's like, shoot, if that's the matchup, that's the matchup. And we try to find more guys like him. Yeah, we try to find more guys like him. So I think that's helped this year and just the style of play. But aside from that, try to play fast, try to let it be free and flow and movement and let these guys make their decisions and then try to guide where we can. We don't try to overcoach these guys, but whenever we need to say something or we need to draw up something, we do, and they trust us for it. So we love that.
Definitely. Now, Adrio, look at this roster too, and talk about like getting out of there playing defense, which Arkansas, the bloodline of Arkansas basketball is defense, get up and down, but get up and down with stops. I see 6'4", 6'7", 6'5", 6'8". I see a lot of guys who are basically similar size skill sets that can switch. Does having a bunch of guys who can play 1 through 5 really help this team's versatility in an event where scouting time is limited?
Absolutely, because like when it's limited like that, you don't really need defensive schemes. You can just switch everything or play certain defensive schemes depending on who we're playing against. You can play certain defensive schemes to the defenders or to really limit them on offense. So being able to switch everything in every position is a problem for any offense.
Definitely.
Most of the teams try to pick on each other, right? Most teams try to pick on each other, like, hey, who's the defensive liability? And I think that's one thing we can say. I don't know that we have one. I mean, people pick on a big, like a true 5-man, but Hunter holds his own as well. And I mean, he proved that
Yeah,
last year.
yeah,
Like, he needed to be on the court. It's actually funny because Jarvis Bernardo played for us, and he's NCAA all-time shot blocking leader still to this day, and an NBA champ. And I'm like, hey, Jarvis on the bench. I'm like, I'll get you in, don't worry. And he's like, bro, Hunter is hooping. Don't worry about me. Let that man roll. But that's the kind of vibes again we had, and it was great.
Well, teams
Great
are
vibes,
constructed to
so.
play. Yeah, the teams are usually constructed to play for each other. That's the kind of teams that win. And you guys have won this event. You've gone deep before. Last year was a Sweet 16 until you had a very tough loss to the Aftershocks. Talk a little bit about the regional change, Monty. So you guys are now going to the Butler region, which is a pretty loaded region. Like, look at this group of teams. Like, what stands out for you about going to Butler, going to Indianapolis?
Well, originally it was like a scenery change of where else do we want to go? What else do we want to travel? Because I think part of the thing, and this is more for like guys like Adrio who just got in this, and myself and some of the players, you want to try to go somewhere new. I mean, the fun part about this is getting to know other people. You get to go find new food places to go hang out, new environment, new city. So it's like, do we want to go back to Wichita? We've been 2 out of the 3 years. I already went to Wichita once this year. Hinkle Fieldhouse is where Hoosiers was filmed. That's historic. Seems like it'd be a great place to play. The bonus side of it is some of the donors we have are from my AAU organization, and our AAU, all of our programs are going to get to come to the games. So we're going to have about 40, 50 kids as a fan base, if the timing of it works out, coming to the games. So, when you have something like that, it's going to help our guys and just, a little more motivation to play hard and see what happens. But it'll be a fun little city to be at, or big city.
Definitely. Indy's a fun city. I've been there. I had a friend had his bachelor party there. Not sure if it means anything about how good the city is, but he's been divorced, so maybe it's not the best city for a bachelor party. But
have you heard the craziness? Have you heard the craziness about Indy? So
no,
we booked it, and they asked if we want to go to Indy, and I was like, yeah, that's great. There are 100,000 Catholic people coming into the city for a event that weekend, on top of a live period AAU event, which brings in 500 teams of 10. So you're looking at another 50,000, plus the college coaches that are coming in, plus a NASCAR is going on over there.
That's the same.
No, all the same weekend. It's popping.
Damn.
And so it's like I found an Airbnb, and I've told the guys that's how we're staying. But I found an Airbnb, and some guy had 3 houses next to each other. So we're going to probably end up taking that. Well, they won't let me book till a month out, but they got 3 houses next to each other. So 2 of the houses will be the players, 1 of the houses will be for the coaches, and we'll just deal with it that way. Even though I'd rather give the players and everybody their own like rooms, but the weekend is nuts.
Well, it's kind of crazy because I booked my flight. So we come out every year, and I'm going into Louisville, so I'll probably see you guys. I'm guessing you guys are going to have to win a game. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to see you guys probably Sunday. So try to win a game, guys. But I know that I was thinking about should I stay in Indy. Oh, there we go. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, I did not hear about the hotel situation being that bad, though. That makes sense.
Think about this. How many people are coming here? And the NCAA tournament, when COVID happened, was held in Indy, and they were able to hold 68 teams and their fan bases in Indy, and hotels were still fine because I went. And now there's not enough hotels in Indy for all the events going on. That's how crazy that is.
That's
right now. Crazy.
Now, here's the upside of that, though. Some casuals might come by. Yeah. Some casuals might get in there. So,
especially if like people, if people like around promoting it, for sure they'll come.
Well, we're the Puma circuit, and it's the Puma TBT tournament. So there should be some kind of deal being worked out to where the kids, when their games are over, they can funnel the kids into the games.
I think that's not a bad idea.
Czech Republic just gave me these like the new these just dropped like some Puma Nitros.
Yeah,
they comfortable.
Oh,
no. They comfortable too.
Yeah, I always. What are you playing, Adrio? Do you play in Pumas?
No, I mean I played it in those, but I like Kobe's. Kobe's.
Yeah, I always ask people what they play in, and Kobe. It's always a Kobe, the old Kyries, the KDs. The answers I get from everybody: Kobe, KD,
Man, yes, bro. Every one of them shoes is. Yeah, they like it, but these Pumas is growing. And Sonny, I fuck with Sonny Williams. Them lines, I fuck too.
Okay. I know. I know. Last year, they were handing out. I mean, last year I think they were handing out Stewies for the grab bags, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those
Oh
look.
yeah.
Those are pretty good shoes too. Okay, so look at this, Adrio. So look at this. You got a lot of alumni teams. Louisville has almost no alumni teams, whereas this is alumni heavy. There are, what is it, 5 alumni teams here, which is a pretty high number, and almost you're the only one that isn't Indiana based. So how will you guys be able to kind of get the feuding people of Indiana to get behind you as a second favorite team? Like how do you want to try to rally the crowd around you? Style of
Oh,
play
I don't
be more
care.
interesting. How
Shoot,
are we
I
gonna
hope
do
they
this?
hate us. I hope they hate us. I'd rather you
Yeah,
talk bad to all day.
I want the booze. I want the boo. I want that. That's what I want. I don't want the
It was
I get
way
it.
more fun.
Yeah, I appreciate the love, of course, but when you can walk in the trap and take over a trap, yeah, I like that.
It was so funny. Last year, we're walking out at Wichita. They've got that place rocking, and they're booing everyone coming out. And I come out way later, like I let them do their thing. And I walk out with me and Coach Vance, and you just hear, "F you, coaches! Y'all ain't gonna do anything." And I'm like, "Heck yes! This is exactly what I need you to do. Keep cussing me out. This is way more fun."
Yeah, so actually that's motivation, right? So Adrian, that's motivation, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay, never mind. Then screw them. Then I hope they hate you. Okay, we'll lean into that. Perfect. So Adrian,
Yeah,
you
like
played the check.
2 years ago. Two years ago, when we played at Creighton, they had interviewed me. The TBT guys did, and they'd interviewed me and asked, "Man, what did you think about that Creighton crowd after we beat them?" And I wasn't even being rude. I was just like, there wasn't a crowd. Like there was a few people here, but they weren't. Not like, have you been to Arkansas? Have y'all played there? Like
Yeah.
that's a crowd. But Creighton, they didn't affect us in the bit. Wichita, you could tell it got loud in there during Elam. It got loud in there. Like I understood that, but even then, bring that thing to Barnhill, bring that thing to Bud Walton, it's a whole different ball game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's get
new
into
ball
that
game.
because we
Sure.
talk about that. Hey, Adrio, talk about this. When we gonna get this to Arkansas?
When am I going to Arkansas?
No, when are we gonna get TBT to Arkansas? When's this gonna happen?
Man, we need to. I was hoping we got it this year. I was praying we got it this year. But I'd take Indy.
I mean, see, here's the thing now. My logic is this. Obviously, we've had good run in it since I've been the GM, since I've gotten to do a little bit of the things, not being arrogant about it, but like we've gotten organized and trying to get this thing together right. Now, Coach Cal just came in. He just got it to Lexington. So now he's leaving. He's left Lexington.
Yeah.
He's came to the good guys. Why wouldn't he want to bring it here? It'd be the same logic, right? Like you would assume that it would bring in money. You could help get money into more NIL stuff. You could bring alumni back that he could connect with. I mean, it makes a ton of sense. And I know I've got some people working on Coach Cal to visit with him about it later on. I know he's trying to get settled, get the roster fixed up, and kind of get a house and all that stuff taken care of. But the goal is next year. Like I am planning on next year hosting it. I thought we had it in Little Rock, but they wanted too much of a front. The arena did, but we've got some other ideas in play for next year, and I'm kind of putting together a board of people in the state that want to help bring it to Arkansas.
I would love that for 2 reasons. One is I'd like to come home. Go ahead, Adrian. Go ahead. You go.
No, I was saying like if it would have been in Little Rock would have been the perfect spot for it. They would have anybody. Yeah. I know Little Rock would have came out for sure. Little Rock would have came out.
We would have given some other Midwestern teams a place to go. Mid-South. I mean, you get Auburn in there. Maybe the Memphis team wouldn't have dropped out in that circumstance. Be a little closer to home. Would have been interesting. I would have liked to see that. Now, Coach Cal. Who's Coach Cal?
Oh, goodness gracious. Listen, he left your program better than he found it. Let's just say that. He did his job.
No, stop.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember the sanctions. I mean, look, Calipari, I got nothing but love for Calipari now. It's been 10 years. There's a level of statute of limitation list, but come on. You can't say that.
Yeah, the sanctions, all that sounds good and great. But again, they won. They won. They made a national title game. That's better than it. Listen, you ask any Arkansas fan right 100%. Now from how we feel about our program. Had we been to a Final Four national championship game in basketball and then got hit with some sanctions for a couple of years, we would have been perfectly happy.
I know that's totally fine. I mean, I just want to correct for the record. That's not true, but yes, he had a very successful run at Memphis. There's no problem. And like honestly, like there's not many jobs you leave Memphis for, but Kentucky is one of them. So like how
And
exciting
Arkansas is one of them. You
Arkansas?
see, he left Kentucky for Arkansas. Arkansas is one of them. Don't forget that. Now he left a quote unquote blue blood for a red blood, and the red blood is right.
Now carry on.
Now carry on with the business.
He left voluntarily, but yeah, let's be honest. He's a Hall of Fame coach. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. So how excited is Arkansas to have a true Hall of Fame coach? How exciting is that?
Adrio, what you think?
Personally, me personally, I love it. You know, I love it because I know what type of coach he is. I played against him. His schemes, you know, like me personally, I like it. His name is going to bring in the type of energy and the players that's going to keep my alma mater at an all-time high. So me personally, I love it.
I think from the Arkansas side. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I think from the Arkansas side of it, the best thing about this, one, we as an Arkansas side, from all the interviews we've done, we prove we belong on the national names. Like 100%, regardless. You just stole someone from Kentucky, and we could say it's voluntary, we could say it's not. He would have brought in a new recruiting class. If he would have won, if he'd have got to the Sweet 16 or an Elite 8, everyone would have been happy with him, whatever. But also, now that he's coming over here, we're all excited. We have a Hall of Fame coach. There's great players coming in for us, and it's going to turn into it's going to stay a pro Hog situation. So, from the high school coach side, the only thing that stinks for Arkansas is, used to you could take a 3-star Arkansas player and you'd be fine. And he's going for top 20 players in the country. So some Arkansas kids may get left out in the grand scheme of what the country is. But we do still have good enough players in the state to go, That's just it's a different style.
Now, so they can go there. Kentucky needs players now, so maybe that can be the backup. Okay. So look, we're talking about all these sort of things. Sweet 16 last year. Adrio, what has to happen for you guys to get to Philadelphia?
I honestly just continuing what we did last year, just staying together, trusting one another, and just knowing that each game matters. You know what I mean? Playing within the system and schemes that we have, and just knowing that every game matters.
From a coach's side of it, the best part about last year, and and Adrian will tell you how pissed off I honestly was. Our roster turnover, we get ghosts, we got guys come and leave. Yeah. It's frustrating, but what you learn out of this, and what I learned just even more as a coach as I grow older, the guys who want to be there, that actually want to be there and care, they're the guys that are going to take you the furthest. There was no ego last year. These guys ran everything, though, the best to that they could, and we demanded things from them as players. We asked for their attention during scout. We went through practice. We were detailed as we could be about everything. We had film for those guys. But it was so refreshing because they treated it like a pro team. They were ready. They were prepared. And that helped us win because, were we supposed to beat Kansas State according to everyone else? No. Were we supposed to even get out of the first round? Because of the team and what, quote, unquote, everyone believes the names are, we weren't supposed to. You win both games by double digits. And really, we're one missed 3 away from a chance at an Elite 8. So, we hope to carry that over with a little more depth and versatility, and then we see what happens as long as, again, TBT is hard for everybody because everyone's got to show up.
So, Adrio, looking at this, the potential path, a path that would probably actually make sense would be something that might look like, say, Purdue in the first round, Butler in the second, Indiana in the third. Are you prepared to make the entire state of Indiana cry if you have to?
Man, let's get it. Let's get it. I ain't worried about none of them. What? Oh, man. I'm not worried about nobody crying. I'm trying to, we trying to do something here.
Listen, Indiana don't even like Arkansas because we took Justin Smith from them. So I'm just telling you, there's already some bad blood back and forth about that. They did have an Arkansas guy this year, though. Indiana did have an Arkansas guy, and he will be in the lottery more than likely. Just letting you know, so they can make their peace with that.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so
on a side note, I never lost to Indiana at home, so just throw that out there. Just throw that out there. And we went to
There we go.
Indiana.
There we go.
And we went to Indiana and won. I won in Indiana too.
The good
Well,
luck
there we
charm.
go. There we go. That good luck charm. Okay. So looking at all this real quick, then you played last year in the Czech Republic, Adrio. What was that like?
It was like I said, it was smooth, man. It was real smooth. Good bump, good competition, great. It's honestly a great league. They had an all star weekend, dunk contest, all-star game. They had like it was very an eventful an eventful league, man. They definitely put the money into their players and into the league. So it was a great league.
Yeah, it sounds like a really fun ride to play in. What kind of leagues are you looking at for next year? I know most guys are on one-year deals. Is there any? Where would you like to see yourself next year playing?
Man, honestly,
Whoever pays the most.
honestly, 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 yeah.
That's a fair answer.
Whoever, you know what I'm saying, talking chicken, then we can talk.
Yeah. Money talks, bullshit walks. That makes sense to me. Speaking of highly paid,
I'm trying to tell you.
Speaking of being highly paid, Monty, how is the high school circuit going?
High school's cool. It ain't highly paid, I'll tell you that, but high school's cool. We got a great team. I'm hoping when Adrio's down here in Little Rock, he comes and visits with those guys and gives them some knowledge because that is wealth. We tell our kids that all the time. Like, those dudes come and rebound for these guys, and they love it. Like, I let our high school team be super involved with TBT. Like the week of TBT, I'll do my practice plan for TBT with the high school guys just to make sure everything's going smooth, what's off, where does timing need to be, where am I going to go longer or shorter. So I run it through those guys, but then they love it because they came and rebounded for those guys. They got to visit. They're like, man, they're so nice. And I was like, yeah, what do you expect? They're still human beings at the end of the day. But the high school thing's going great. We just sent 3 kids to college, and they're going to have a chance to go play somewhere and do special things. And then, we had to regroup. There's a bunch of move-ins that came to play for me and come to our school and do all that good stuff. And you're hoping you can help them get to college in the next level. And I think we got the connections to do that.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a connections business too. I think TBT, how much does TBT, and this is a question for both of you, how much does TBT help your professional networking? It seems to be like the best sort of networking job event in the summer every year. Like, how much does this help your careers? And that's for both of you.
You got AB?
For me, as an active player, it definitely helps me grow not only as a player but as a businessman too, because you're around players that you don't know who's already. See, I'm still kind of young, so I'm getting to see guys who's already have residual income and other things of income besides just the overseas checks or those checks. So seeing that from a guy that's still playing, I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? Just meeting new people, meeting somebody new that's working the same thing is like opening another door for me as a player. So for me
from year one, I was very unsure if I even belonged like coaching at this team. Like, it's pros, it's this. It's very, very unsure. By the time year 3 came out, I'm super confident in what we were doing. And that, I think that helps because also, like, you got to have the respect of the players. And I think we earned that through just building relationships and whatnot. And that taught me how much that matters. Exposure-wise, it's great. I mean, high school ADs and high school coaches around the country are watching us and getting to see that, hey, high school coaches can be good coaches too. And I'm not saying I'm a good coach, but I mean, even hearing the compliments from guys like AB himself and Barford and Mick, like all them guys telling me, they appreciated how we coached them and talked to them and visited with them and held them accountable. It helps. It helps me learn. And every year it's a learning experience. We brought in an NBA coach last year. He sat on the bench and he helped us a ton. He helped me see things different ways. And we put in an offense and we ran through that and kept it simple. You learn terminology. So for me, I love it. I like if I didn't ever have to give it up, I wouldn't. But I want this thing to grow. And if that means at some point I have to step out of the way for it to go another step further, I can do that. I don't mind just being the GM, or I don't mind someone taking the GM, taking us to a new level. But right now, I make this a 24/7 job too. We want to bring this to Fayetteville. That's the biggest thing. I want to bring it back to our home state. I want to bring the business here. Our state can use that, especially after these tornadoes that just hit in Northwest Arkansas. I would love to have a way to get money back to them. But this state matters to me. Arkansas matters to me. It matters a lot. That's where I grew up, and that's what made me who I am.
Definitely my second
Yeah,
home
definitely.
too. Definitely my second home.
Yeah, I mean, playing for a community you love actually does matter a lot in this event. By the way, I did real quick while you were talking, I did double check. Me and Charge did both pick you to win the first game last year, so we actually did pick you both to win one game. We didn't do any picks past the first round for the preview shows, but we did pick you in the first round. So, but you guys were playing CSU last year, so it wasn't quite a huge thing.
Their point guard
okay,
cussed me out middle of the game and said we were losing. So I was like, I guess probably not, but sure. So whatever. Good time.
Yeah, I think our Texas usually involved a lot of other nonsense last year. I'll have to find them. I was in Dayton when you guys were playing. We were texting about some other nonsense, which we won't talk about on camera. Anyway, though, the other thing I was going to mention is that I want to talk to you. This is for Monty specifically. TBT gets a little more expensive every year. I like to give people this year a chance to shout out their sponsors and who's helping. So, who has been really generous to your team? Who do you want to publicly thank so we can make sure they're getting some credibility here?
Man, I'm telling you, this is actually crazy. What you brought up my engagement. I just got engaged. One of my friends, she had to miss. We were talking. She told me she worked for this lady at Skin Fix Med Spa in Little Rock. And she was just like, you might hit her up and ask her. And literally, I'm telling you, that phone call was 2 minutes before she gave me the biggest sponsorship we'd had. And I was like, why? And she's like, this community in this state means a lot. And this is a project to me. And you're trying to build it. So let me do that. So Stephanie Lambert had done that, done me a huge favor by helping me out and getting one of our big packages sold so we could travel the guys. We have a place to stay. We try to give a little per diem for food on game days, do all those things. But I mean, Skin Fix Med Spa did so much for us. You still got Intimidator. We've had a ton. I mean, we've got 20 or 30 different people trying to help us here and there, just trying to nickel and dime it together. But, different package ranges. So it's not like we have a plethora of money because, I mean, you pay $10,000 to TBT just to unlock everything and get in. You still got to pay the flights. Those are expenses that you can't control the price. You got to pay the Airbnb. Those are expenses you can't control. Then you still got to pay for the food and any other thing that comes with it. So, we even pay for the hotels here. I try to make sure these guys have a place to stay when they get to Little Rock. But, at the end of it, I try to, throw out a little bit of bread to everybody. Just make sure, hey, I appreciate your time for what we have.
Definitely. I mean, it's going to be more and more of an expensive endeavor. Let's close on this. I'm going to give you both a chance to answer one last question. And I'll start with Adrio. Adrio, obviously, you guys are need support of your fan base. What do the fans in Arkansas, even nationally, the fans who are neutrals, make the pitch? Why should they support Team Arkansas?
No, because we are the type of team that's gonna give 100%. We're gonna be exciting. You're gonna see great basketball. Honestly, great basketball. Because a couple of these guys I've been played with, and I know personally. A lot of these guys I know personally, and I know how we play together. It's gonna be excitement, good basketball.
I can't. Go ahead. What was yours?
No. I was just saying. Go ahead, Monty. Yeah, it's for you. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't ever guarantee wins. I always tell everybody, we respect our opponent. You play, you do all the right things, and things will work itself out. But I think if you live in this state, we're a very prideful state. We're a hard hat, work your butt off, blue collar type of state. And I think that's what people should watch is you see these guys leave your state to go play pro somewhere and how hard they work to get to these leagues that they're in. And I think that respect factor should matter because they want to come back and give if they can. They want to come back and give to the community. They don't have a problem doing that. I mean, if Adrio's walking around Little Rock, people are going to recognize him and want to get a picture, and he's not too big to do that with anyone. Sonny's the same way, all these guys. So I think it's just where we can give back. We want to. We just want to bring the money to the state. So get behind us. Hopefully we win. Hopefully financially we do need to find a little bit more money, but as soon as we do and we can afford everything, it's let's take care of our business where we can. But, this ain't the NBA playoffs where you have 3 to 5 games to adjust and see what you did wrong. It's a one and done. And, you got one game sample size on film. Even last year, and I'm not going to go too much into it, we had told our team just in that Kansas State game what motivation we needed to win and what the game plan was. And it based around one individual that we were like, hey, let them take 20 shots. And we did. And that worked out real well for us. But we play together, and this state has always came together in every type of moment. So I'm hoping that sticks through, you know?
Definitely, definitely. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming on. Again, I really appreciate it. GM and head coach Monty Patel and small forward Adrio. Guys, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
No problem, man. Thank you
Appreciate
for
you.
having me, man.
Hope you enjoyed listening to Zoom the TBT with Charge and Hainer. Subscribe to YouTube, follow on Twitter, and give us your money.